Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video, I'm actually in scrubs because I am headed to work. I'm currently per diem now since school should be starting in the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is my first per diem shift and I'm gonna talk about today what it's like working with your significant other.
I bought pizza. What's up?
My Cheetalicious. Whoa!
Ooh, Big Daddy.
Do you think you could follow directions and talk at the same time?
Of course I could. What am I?
You couldn't last time.
Shut up.
We're talking about relationships.
Oh God.
Yeah. Not only relationships, but working together and being in a relationship and how that works or doesn't for some. But for us, it does. So a little background story. We met at work and we were friends and it just blossomed into something more. But I think that working together with your significant other is something that depends on the people. If it's possible. We're gonna die. Depends on the type of person you are and the type of person that your significant other is and how you guys work not only together because now you're working in the same place, but how you work on your own as well. I like to think of Anthony and I as both equally hard workers. We don't really let our relationship take precedent over anything else. When we go to work, work comes first. Correct?
Correct. I completely agree. However, that couple that's neglecting our duties at the time because we're more absolved in each other.
I feel like some people think that working with your significant other could be a bad thing.
For certain couples, it can be.
It could, because you come across your differences and you have to figure them out professionally because you're at work. Say, I'm trying to help Aunt with a patient and he thinks something should be done, but I think it should be done a different way. Because you guys are so close and you know each other so well, it's easy to kind of bicker.
Butt heads on it.
At the end of the day, you gotta know that it's just work. Both smart individuals, so.
It also takes a level of maturity in order to handle it. It creates its own conflicts that you wouldn't usually face in a normal relationship.
And some people don't want to work with their significant other.
Yeah. Not only now are you spending all your time with them outside of work, but you're also spending all your time with them at work. So that just wouldn't work for them either. Which is something you have to keep in mind, that you're going to spend a lot more time with each other.
That's true. So do you get sick of... I can't do the question because I feel like we're going to crash.
We're not going to crash.
Do you get sick of me because we see each other a lot?
I never get sick of you, never. That is a ridiculous question to ask.
No, be honest. I mean, I don't feel that way. You don't have to say that. You don't have to agree. I just feel like because at work it's kind of a different mentality. We're not really like hanging out. It doesn't feel like hanging out. It feels like work.
The time I spend with you outside of work and the time I spend with you at work are two really different things.
If anything, I think it's a little benefit because I get to see you.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. All our days weren't always the same. There were days where you worked where I wasn't. There were days where I worked and you weren't, and then those are the days that you have to yourself and things that you need to get done, or like hang out with your friends and stuff like that, like you can do on those days.
On the days that I have off and you don't. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a shit ton better than having opposite schedules, never seeing each other ever. One of us being together is that we enjoy each other's company.
This is a good one. Say we're having an argument outside of work, but we're working together. It's time to go to work.
Well, I think you have to be like mature enough to be able to differentiate that and compartmentalize your argument for the well-being of your patient and the job and your coworkers and stuff. They don't want to deal with that. And you don't want a negative connotation surrounding your relationship. You don't want to be those people that are always arguing, being that guy.
You could tell what I'm thinking and feeling just by looking at my face. For me, it's hard to not look sad or down, but that doesn't affect how I treat my patients. It's just like I'll be sitting documenting and I look like a sad puppy, but it's not that I treat anyone differently. It's just my emotions are just always on my face. So that's one problem that I feel like I kind of have with working with you. But we don't fight that much, so it doesn't really matter.
I can see that. That's fair enough. I mean, me too. Like, I'll act obviously colder to you than I normally would, but I would never We never yell at each other on the unit. We never argue, like, scream at each other in the presence of our patient or anything like that. And I never let it neglect my patient. I feel like that's something that you have to be able to differentiate. You gotta leave your emotions at the door with it. Just like you leave your emotions at the door on the way out sometimes.
That's true. Is it weird seeing your significant other in their zone, per se? Like, having to be professional outside of work, me and you aren't.
Super serious, but...
Seeing you be very serious and seeing me be very serious, like, is that like weird?
No, I think it's a good thing. I think it's...
Sometimes it makes me laugh, I have to say, though.
Well, because sometimes I'm ridiculous.
Because the way you are, when Anthony's serious and wants to get his point across and nobody's like listening or following what he thinks is best, he can be very condescending, sarcastic, he's not afraid to speak his mind, which is a good leadership quality to have. But for me, I just find it like so funny.
Well, because when someone's doing something that I believe is wrong, morally, ethically, professionally, I'm not afraid to say something to them that may not be exactly the most professional thing at the time, but something that hopefully will get them to stop what they're doing, or at least get them to think. And
it makes me proud that you're able to speak up for yourself and for the well-being of your patients.
But at the same time, every time I say something, you just kind of don't know what to do. So
every time he says something and I'm like around, I don't know what to do because I'm not like a confrontational person. The way that I go about things to get my point across and like make a change, I'm not that way. So it's hard for me to be so forward, if that's the word.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not for me. That's fine. I think it's a good thing. I think that nursing, especially working in ICU, puts you and your significant other in positions where you see their true character come out. How they truly respond under pressure and under circumstances where someone's literally dying in front of you. And, you know, how do they react? And which I think is like really good to be able to see someone in those moments and see how they handle themselves. Because it speaks a lot about you.
It does.
It's kind of hot.
Okay, I'm done. If I feel like Ant is doing something that he could do better, I feel like I let him know.
Yeah, you'll tell me. And when I think you're being OCD, I'll tell you.
But it's all about the way that you deliver the information.
Like, really rude with it, of course. But I feel like if you say it in a nice way. It's
yeah, and like a nice little joking way. And it's not that what he's doing is totally wrong. I just think that there's better ways of doing it.
And that's the part where I tell her she's wrong.
So this is a sensitive subject at work. What do you do when someone else at work starts hitting on your significant other at work?
Oh, shit.
How do you handle that situation?
All right, I'm gonna let you all in on one very important secret right here. So you catch that vibe, you can tell when someone's gonna try to do it and someone's gonna try to make that move on your girl. Doctors aren't scared.
And they don't have good game. Like
well,
you
yeah,
can tell.
So you can see it from a mile away. What I'll do is if I see, you know, someone who I know is clearly showing interest in Jess, I'll walk over and, you know, I'll let them talk for a few minutes here and there. And then as soon as I know for a fact, I'll walk over, you know, and just be like, oh, excuse me, babe, you're sleeping over tonight, right? Or, oh, sorry guys, but babe, you're coming to dinner with my family tonight, right? Something like that, just to make it very clear, she's mine and not yours.
What do I do when roles are reversed?
She don't care. Yeah, she don't care.
It's not that I don't care.
It's alright.
No, I really did get mad at that one lady.
Yeah, but one time. It's not jealous, I don't get mad, it's not her fault. But you gotta state what's yours.
I have no comment. Every time that happens, I just like don't know what to do. Again, non-confrontational type of person, and this happens.
Confrontational type of person.
Ugh.
No, I'm not confrontational. I'm not going up to a doctor like, yo, back off, you're not allowed to talk to my girlfriend. That's not true.
But
I'm just
I know
making
why
it...
he's doing it. It's not just a casual, oh, hey, like he didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on that night. I just wanted to make sure she was coming to dinner with my family. What the... I'm sorry, you were talking to someone.
Lies.
Never. False.
That was our little pros and cons of what it's like to date your coworker.
A lot of pros. A lot of cons.
No cons. We almost got in someone's shot.
Never do that. Photography 101. Alright, we're gonna jump this.
Oh, there's a lot of poop on the ground.
We gotta jump this gap, babe.
You could do it.
I cannot jump this gap.
Then why are you telling me to do it?
Oh, I thought you could. You're more fit than I am.
Hasta la vista.